Welcome back to PAX Live, powered by Twitch. Hasn't the lineup today just been absolutely phenomenal? I feel like I just want to play every single game I've seen. Well, it's not going to stop. I'm here with Blaze and Casper to talk about Hard West. And
Hello.
so, welcome, guys. Glad you're here.
Hey.
So I'll be honest, I did not know about this game until this morning, and I saw you guys on the schedule, and I look it up, and it is like a Western theme, like tactical, like like RPG world. It just seems incredible. So can you tell us a little bit about what Hard West is?
Well, it's a little bit of everything, so you're kind of right here. It's a turn-based tactical shooter set in the Weird West, which means it's the Wild West plus some supernatural and horror thriller elements. It's a setting that liberates us, sort of allows us to draw inspiration from a lot of different sources.
Right, it's that flexibility that you need to make the game, especially unique, right?
Absolutely, and you see a lot of Western-themed works in different settings, including Firefly in space, right?
Right.
And it totally works.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we're here with a short demo. Right now, we're in the exploration map, or what we call the strategic map in the game.
Let's check it out.
Yeah, and Casper is going to lead us quickly into the actual combat. But first, let's mention that we are, in this episode, we are chasing someone. We're out for revenge. And we need to gather information. But unfortunately, our informant has been captured by cannibals.
Oh,
and,
by cannibals?
When cannibals capture someone, you know what's going to happen
They're not
next.
going to hold on to them for very long.
Yep.
Or most of them.
So this is what we're going to do. We managed to acquire a vial of poison from an elixir trader. We had to drink a little bit of it ourselves, but now that we have the poison, it's like a medical experiment,
Sure,
testing drugs.
Right. Of course.
Yeah,
of course, yes.
Yeah, right. So now that we have the poison, we poisoned the water well of the cannibal farm, and that allows us to sneak up on them a little bit. So let's go into the actual encounter.
I'm just gonna go to the gunsmith for a second.
Before that, that's a good point. We managed to acquire some shotgun barrels and some cash.
Right.
So let's just ask the gunsmith to attach additional barrels to our shotgun.
So this is basically modding our weapons, right? Upgrading them.
You can't really have enough barrels on your shotgun, so
give me more barrels.
There's
let's get more, and we're at 4.
So a question for you, what is our role as a hero? Are we the sheriff? Are we the bounty hunter? What are? Oh god,
no.
Casper's like, no, you're not.
The reason Casper's laughing is because we tried really hard not to have any good guys or bad guys. We have a band of misfits, and in the 8 chapters that the game is divided into, you play as different characters. So it's not always a single protagonist. It's always a team of 1 to 4 characters.
Right.
But in this case, we're playing as Warren. It's the guy from the artwork, and here in the wanted poster.
I love the face, man.
Yeah, he is actually technically an undead, brought back to life to exact revenge.
Yeah.
So
he's made a deal with the devil to get revenge.
That's the dream, though, right? If someone kills you, you want revenge. You want to be brought back from the dead to exact very messy vengeance.
Exactly, and you actually want to be a zombie. You want to be scary as shit, right? It's not like you're gonna come back in your hoodie and say, "Oh, hey, I'm out for revenge." You want people to see you coming with your scary face and all.
Oh man, definitely captured with that face.
Yeah, let's go into the combat, and we are in what we call a setup phase, which is something that precedes combat if you can sneak up on your enemies, because right now Casper can position his team a little bit without attracting too much attention. Of course, he can't shoot, can't destroy anything, but he can creep up on enemies a little bit and position them for their first strike.
Right. So you have to earn this edge. You don't get this automatically. You have to
in some cases you have a chance to do it right off, but in this case, the poison that slowed the cannibals down a little earned us this opportunity.
So it pays to be creative and to understand, keep track of, what's going on. Use everything to your advantage here, right?
Yes, that's the point. Of course, a lot of it is optional. If you go the hard way, you can still beat the game, and it's okay. But it's really fun to explore those little opportunities.
Right.
So there's this guy I'm gonna try to break out, but there's this guard looking at him, right?
Right.
So when I enter his field of view, he's gonna grow suspicious.
Yeah.
Right.
And over time, he'll eventually start combat. However, I can threaten him with a gun.
Yeah, let's just keep him at gunpoint. And he is neutralized for a while. We have a little longer to keep spreading the team around.
Right.
That's a very good strategy in this case. because we want to take out enemies with our first shot if possible.
Right.
And we can also break free the person we're here to get back from the cannibals. And you know, when you're faced with cannibals, you're pretty much team up with anyone to get back at them. So this is why, even though he's not our friend, he's going to fight on our side. So we are getting an extra team member just by breaking him free from this shed.
There we go. It's like not hard to find allies against cannibals, that's for sure.
Yeah. And actually the funny thing is, if you want to try the whole cannibal thing, and you're hungry and low on health, you can actually break into their food stash and you can try a little bit. It's not something I would normally do, but if you're an undead Avenger, you might as well.
Hey, are there any like benefits or downsides besides like, you know, losing even more of your humanity?
Well, that's the main downside, but you actually do get to heal a little bit, and there are certain small story implications to that.
Very cool. Like, yeah, I've had human once. It was okay.
Yeah, it tastes like chicken.
All right.
So right now we're ready, almost ready to start combat.
Ready.
And
there we go, the setup here.
Kind of threaten them a little bit.
So this place we're in, the actual tactical encounter, it's what we call a mission. Basically, we have 40 of those in the game.
Right.
So it's quite a story.
A good bit of content here.
And the fun thing is, everything is built by hand. We don't use any generated levels. We don't recycle environments because the game is pretty story-driven, and we wanted to have full control on what's going to happen. Although there is still an element of choice, like I told you with the poison thing.
Yeah, you can just go ahead.
We can just jump into the combat directly, and then we'll do fine. And on the strategic map, there is a lot of optional exploration. We can gain allies, recruit new team members, gather items, artifacts, trade them for something else, modify weapons, and we'll end up in different places. Plus, in the end, there are actually two endings to the story, and we call them the bad ending and the worst ending. So
that worse, like even worse. So question. So you mentioned like going through the game, you're playing as different like, you know, like characters, but there's also apparently like a leveling system. Or is there a leveling system or no?
Where it's not straight up leveling, so no XP, no levels, but we do develop our characters. We acquire new skills, which is very cool because they come in the form of playing cards. And there is an additional mechanic, a screen when you get to outfit your characters with those skills. And since they're already cards, you can form poker hands with them. And each poker hand is a combo. So the stronger your hand, the better the bonus effect from the combo.
That is awesome. So I'm collecting skills, and they're in the form of cards, and I can form my, like when I'm making my skills, putting my skills together, I want to keep in consideration like different poker hands.
Yeah.
And so like a full house is going to be like 3 of a kind, and so I'm trying to think of like, you know, those kind of things.
And the stronger the hand, the better the bonus.
I've never heard of anything like that in the game. Like, that's really cool.
Yeah, so there's quite a bit of customization.
Yeah, and all the abilities from the cards are very powerful. So for example, this here ability allows me to ricochet bullets any way I want from metal objects.
Yeah, so we don't have a line of sight to that guy.
Guy over here.
We couldn't shoot him directly, but if we if we bounce it off a metal bucket, for example, we can shoot this guy.
That's an MLG Pro 360 like skill shot right there, baby. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
And he's down. So this is a good example how we're breaking up the mold of the, classic cover and line of sight system, because normally you know if someone's behind cover, but if you can bounce the bullet and just shoot him in the back right up there, it's really cool. And this is just actually one of the earlier skills that you acquire in the game. There are some more powerful ones. We don't want to spoil everything, but some of them really change the whole face of combat.
Oh, you can ricochet of several objects in a row.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
And a good example, well, I don't know if we'll be using it right here, but we have a skill called Equalize.
Okay.
That's like a sudden death mode, because it brings everyone's HP to 1, including yours. So 1 shot, 1 kill. So if you have a lot of powerful, strong enemies, they're very weak immediately, but so are you. So the stakes are really high then.
Wow, that's like a gamble right there.
Yeah.
So how about the weapons in the game? So I mean, I assume that you have like 6 shooters. Sounds like you can upgrade like 7 shooters, 8 shooters. I don't know. Like, can you tell me about
Yeah,
the array
a lot
of
of
weaponry?
shooters actually. And this is a fun story because we started the game on Kickstarter a year ago, and one of the reward tiers was to participate in the design of the game, and we had backers send us their ideas for guns, and it was a conversation because we had this idea. Let's not make it completely sci-fi. Let's find actual designs, maybe something that wasn't properly built or widely used, but at least someone had an idea or like a drawing or a description of a shotgun with rotating 7 barrels or whatever.
Yeah.
And we had a conversation with backers. We reconciled their ideas with those existing historical designs.
So,
and
just a moment, I managed to chain. Ricochet.
That's a ricochet of 2 objects.
And the added bonus is that it ignores cover because you shoot the guy in the back.
Yeah.
So there's that.
So going back to the weapons, we ended up with 30 different weapons. Some of them are really exotic looking, but the main thing is that they're still divided into like pistols and revolvers, rifles and long rifles, sniper rifles.
Right.
But they have unique abilities. They have alternate modes of fire through abilities, and some of them are extremely powerful, but you have to reload them every time.
Right.
Some of them you actually can keep shooting for a while.
It's
so
all trade-offs, right?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
every weapon
So
has its like.
it's once you learn a little bit of it, it becomes a huge part of preparing for a mission. When you select those skills in the form of cards, you try to build those combos, poker hands, and then you outfit your team with weapons, with healing items, whatever you can find.
Very cool. So, Claire, how does the game handle death? Like, someone on my like squad, gets gunned down. Like, if I win the mission, do we heal them back up, or are they just gone, or like, how's that handled?
There are, you can call them main characters in every chapter that you cannot lose. So you have to play it as long as you can get them through the encounter. You're good.
Right.
But there is a number of mercenaries, allies, people you just recruit. Sometimes it's just for one mission, like you break someone out of jail, or you rescue someone from the cannibals and they join you, and it may be just for a single mission.
Right.
But there are also allies that you recruit like for long-term service, and if you lose them, they're permanently dead.
Oh wow! All right, so better look out for your other dudes.
And that's why it also pays to explore widely and have a bigger selection of teammates, weapons, and skills, because in the end, you never know what position you'll be in at the end of the adventure.
Very cool. So. I guess us here on the stage, I can't hear like the music in the game, but like, can you describe like, is it like more of a Western themed music? Is it like kind of like a futuristic Western?
Actually,
like,
it's a little bit of a haunting Western soundtrack, and the cool thing is that the excellent composer of the Witcher 3 soundtrack is writing music for us.
That's amazing.
So the quality it just speaks for itself, and I highly recommend just coming over and playing the game or listening to some music online. It's fantastic. It's supposed to be slightly disturbing, haunting.
It sets the mood. That's why it's like so.
We have something that we were not showing right here, but it's called the Nightmare Realm, when actual demonic forces break into this real world.
Right.
Everything changes from the look of things to visibility and so on. And it really starts looking more like a horror setting then, and the demons are really powerful. Although on purpose we didn't want to make them like hulking, Warhammer greater demons. They're basically strong humanoids with horns and with thick skin and scars. So they still carry guns, but they're very powerful and they appear out of nowhere.
One more
so
cool
this
thing,
is cool.
We have a lot of objects in the environment you can interact with to create more cover for you.
This is called dynamic cover. So you flip a table,
cool.
and you can hide behind it. And throughout the game, that means you should be on the lookout for things like the metal objects to ricochet off, the dynamic cover. So the environment is also your potential ally.
Can enemies ricochet? Will they have like similar skills where like will I have to feel like, unsafe sometimes when being behind cover? Like,
Well, not so much. You have to always be mindful about them flanking you.
Oh, sure,
because
their positions,
they
right.
already know not to shoot you, behind cover.
Right.
And I think they're pretty scary in their own right if you're not careful.
The idea is that you're always outnumbered and always outgunned.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have to use the special abilities because you're guys are like
Right.
the ultimate badasses, and you have to utilize this to gain advantage over their numbers.
Yeah, it's kind of like in westerns, this is the ultimate badass. This is the guy that walks into a saloon full of like bandits and he's the only one that walks out. This is how, like Kasper said, we're so outnumbered that our guys have to have a serious advantage, and it's on purpose because the core mechanics of cover, shooting, and so on, they are very meticulous.
Right.
But the special skills are like almost like superhero abilities in the way that they break the tactical mold.
Awesome. Awesome. So where can people find, well, number one, when does the game come out? And two, where can people find more information?
Well, the game is releasing this fall for PC, Mac, and Linux.
Oh, awesome.
And you can just find Creative Forge Games on Facebook or our publisher Gambitious, and you'll find more information, and we'll be announcing a specific date soon.
Awesome. Hard West looks incredible. I can't wait to
Thank
play
you.
it.
Thanks.
And so Blaze, Casper, thank you guys for showing off the game. And thank you guys for watching. We're going to take a quick break and come right back. See you guys.